Hello everyone and welcome to today's Friday edition of the Daily HUD, aka the weekend preview of what's to come in the esports world. I am Sierra and let's get into it.
Yeah, I'm Dom. Now we're trying something a little bit different here with the format. We're splitting everything up by genre, so let us know what you think of our new style when you get to the end of the video, or even now, in the comments below.
First up, we've got our Battle Royales, and we've got three to talk about. With Fortnite's Online Opens qualifier for the World Cup and the PUBG, we have an ongoing PEL Kick-Off Cup taking place across the pond in Europe. And this weekend we'll see the return of the North American PUBG hosted the NPL.
Now looking at our shooters, we'll go over the results of CSGO's IEM in Sydney. Then we're looking at the Paladins Premier League Week 6. And finally taking a turn towards the Overwatch League with the results of Thursday's game, plus a teaser for today and this weekend's coming matches.
Next, we're turning our attention to MOBAs.
Yeah, our MOBAs. Yeah.
We've got two big clashes this weekend. First, we'll hit up the LoL MSI results, group stage play-ins, and talk about what we can expect from this weekend. We'll look towards Dota 2, which we'll see the MDL Disneyland Paris this weekend. Lastly, in our MOBA category,
we're looking at Smite. Of course, we'll be talking about that a little later. Now, we don't have any card game news in the esports genre at this time with Magic the Gathering and Hearthstone on a brief hiatus. We will be getting more later this month. Instead, we're turning towards our sports games with NBA 2K League's results from yesterday, a look at today's matches, then we're seeing the return of the FIFA ELeague Cup this weekend, acting as a qualifier for the FIFA 2019 Global Series. We're looking at the Rocket League's RLCS, seeing a return this weekend, and finally, to close us out on sports, we're looking at the final days of the qualifiers for the Formula 1 Esports Baku Qualifiers.
Jeez, Dom, that's a lot. Up next, we're in our fighting games, of which are three big events to keep an eye on this weekend. In Sweden, Head Stomper 2019 will take place this weekend, featuring a stop on the Capcom Pro World Tour. We've got the Tekken World Tour and even the
Arc Revo World Tour. Yeah. After that, we're looking at Smash with two events. One in Long Beach with the Thunder Smash 2019, and the other one in Europe in Amsterdam, the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate European Team Cup 2019, which is a heck of a mouthful if you want to try to say that 3 times fast.
Finally, to close us out, we've got our miscellaneous favorite part of the show, Starcraft II. We will see return later this weekend with Group D, GSL Code S.
Yeah, and the World of Warcraft Mythic International East Cup 3, but of course we'll be talking about that later. So, let's get into what's happening. First things first, Fortnite. The online opens are kicking back up this week. It's week 4, so we're back to duo play. Only a limited number of spots per region will advance to the Fortnite World Cup this event, but anyone above rank 6 can play in tomorrow's rounds.
Yeah.
Now, we did just see the invisibility grenade added, so let us know what you think about how that is going to affect the competition.
This weekend, we'll also see the return of the NPL. That's the National PUBG League in North America. Phase 2 starts tomorrow, May 4th, and is expected to run all the way until June 6th. This is the premier North American PUBG League in North America.
Yeah, now elsewhere, the PUBG PEL Kick-Off Cup is resuming on the other side of the pond in Europe. They're finishing off their own group stage earlier this morning. Now, the top 8 teams from both Group A and Group B will be advancing to the grand finals, running through today all the way until the end of the weekend. Now, they're competing for their own share of a $125,000 prize pool. I believe first place team walks away with $50,000 themselves, and this is a really big chance because, again, this is the PEL teams, the pro teams, and the PEL challenger teams, the teams in the league just below that, to show their best. It should be noted, though, that the standings of the PEL and the PELC, which is that challenger league, won't be affected by any of these rounds. In those finals, we're going to run through those teams real quick. 3D Max, Avenger, Beşiktaş, Digital Athletics, Desperado, ENCE, FaZe Clan, Jokers, Team Liquid, Na'Vi, Ninjas in Pajamas, Northern Lights Team 7, T-Battle, Unity, and finally, the NAM. Now, as of the time of this filming, these games should be kicking off right about now.
Looking at our FPS games, we'll start with Overwatch. Yesterday, we saw the Dallas Fuel challenge the Florida Mayhem, and the match went, well, just as we expected, with the Dallas Fuel going 3-1 against Mayhem, taking again another win. Though I'm sure stout Fuel fans would rather it was a clean 4-0. Afterwards, we got another glimpse of perfection as the San Francisco Shock are continuing their undefeated streak. taking a 4-0 against the Philly Fusion.
Now, they've already taken a record for 20 consecutive wins in a row, and that grows even more against Philly Fusion. So they are just unstoppable. Meanwhile, today we're going to see the Guangzhou Charge against the Houston Outlaws. Then the Toronto Defiant will challenge their Canadian brethren in the Vancouver Titans. Of course, Saturday and Sunday are chock full of games taking place as well. And we here at the Esports Channel will be doing our best to keep you all updated on the comings and goings of those teams and matches as they conclude when we're coming back next Monday. Obviously, we can't tell you the results of the games before they've happened, though that would be a pretty cool channel draw if we could get to that.
But we will let you know what you can look forward to. And our next shooter, the Paladins Premier League. Paladins Premier League opened up with Ninjas in Pajamas, challenging Space Station Gaming, with NIP taking the win 4-0. Afterwards, we had NV taking on Pittsburgh Knights, and NV claimed victory at a 4-2. Later today, we see the conclusion of Week 6 with 3 more games. Space Station Gaming will go up against Renegades. Then Navi will clash with Ninjas in Pajamas. And after, Virtuous Pro will challenge Kanga Esports. And we'll be letting you know those results as well on Monday.
And now for our final shooter genre news, we're looking at CSGO with IEM Sydney. Last night, we saw the clash of the quarterfinals. And with only today and tomorrow's competition left in the semis and the finals, things are starting to heat up. In the quarters, MIBR took to the stage against Mouse Esports. Again, MIBR have been on an absolute tear lately, ever since their wins at Blast Pro Miami, and this momentum that they've acquired isn't showing any signs of stopping. They are just bowling over their opponents. Ultimately, MIBR took the series 2-0 against Mouse, though the maps were probably a little bit closer than MIBR fans were hoping to expect, with map 1 going 22-19 in overtime and map 2 going 16-10 before MIBR were finally able to close it out. This is definitely a team you need to keep your eyes on.
It looks like MIBR is in fact waltzing with Matilda. Our second quarterfinals match against Ninjas in Pajamas up against Fnatic. Game 1 went Fnatic's way with a swift 16-9, but NIP clutched out Game 2 at a whopping 23-20. Winning at 25 in overtime on Overpass. And here's where it gets even crazier.
As of the time of this filming, Game 3 is still going on.
Right.
It just entered round 41. It's all tied up in the elimination match, that round 3 of this best of 3. Fnatic and NIP are at 20 points apiece, and I'm pretty sure I just watched Fnatic's Twist defend the bomb with a pistol and knives, getting a knife kill as the bomb went off. Now, the winner of this match will play against Energy Esports tomorrow in the semifinals on the other side of the bracket. MIBR will get their own rematch against Team Liquid, a game that we saw at the Blast Pro Miami here just a few weeks ago.
Okay, and moving on to the group stage, that's some very active news.
In that group stage, Liquid, they've been doing a lot of work. Their best of 1 was 16-10 against MIBR. This was back at that Blast Pro in Miami. MIBR ultimately lost and went to 3rd place in the tournament, but then challenged Cloud9 in the Pro Aim Battle standoff and handily defeated Team Liquid. So they might have lost that match, but they won the Pride War. And rumor has it that might have been what it took to wear down Cloud9 for FaZe Clan to come into the finals and win the Blast Pro Miami. So perhaps Team Liquid might be looking for a little revenge against this team, or
MIBR will continue to be the thorn in Liquid's side.
Yeah, we're going to find out. This is going to be a best of 3 you don't want to miss, and that's happening tomorrow.
With all our shooters out of the way, it's time to look at the next big event. In the Dota 2 MDL Disneyland Paris Major, we'll be seeing 16 teams in this massive tournament. The games start tomorrow and will run until next weekend, with the grand finals on the 12th. So if you feel like you're missing out on your favorite Dota 2 action, the Paris Major has got your fix.
In other MOBA news, the League of Legends MSI rages on, with Group B having played about half of their games. We don't have a clear resolution to what's going on in Group B yet. We're getting that on Sunday, but we do get the tiebreaker for Group A. That happened earlier this morning. Fengvu Buffalo took on 1907 Fenerbahce Esports at the end of this morning's sets. Ultimately, it was Fengvu Buffalo who took the win. They're advancing to the next round to play against Team Liquid to advance to the group stage. Fengvu Buffalo joined 3 of 4 teams in this elimination stage, and of those 4, 3 of the teams will advance to group stages. So this is a big sigh of relief for Buffalo fans, because now their road has just gotten a whole lot easier if you consider the volume of teams. If you consider the competition, it just got harder.
Group B will resume and conclude their games starting at 1 a.m. Eastern on Sunday morning. After those matches, the winner of Group B will challenge the LMS's Flash Wolves on Monday morning, with those play-ins qualifier matches taking place at 4 a.m. Eastern time. Finally, on Tuesday at 6 a.m. Wow, these are early. I don't know. I'm not a morning person.
They're being played over
but
by time.
Tune in if you're up. We'll get our final play-ins elimination match to determine our last team to make it into the group stages.
Yes, and now that's not all of our MOBA news. In Smite, the Smite League resumed its week 5. We kind of had a conversation about putting it in MOBAs versus putting it in FPSs, but ultimately MOBAs. Team Rival clashed against Space Station Gaming and took the series with a confident 3-0. As a result of those games, Team Rival find themselves in a very happy 3-1 in the standings at 3rd place. Space Station Gaming ended up dropping a little bit further away from the top at 1-3 overall, putting them at 6th. Space Station will get a chance to play again today against the so far undefeated United. And if Space Station Gaming's match against Team Rival was tough, their set today is going to be even more of an uphill battle. Though, again, they know their schedule ahead of time. They might have been preparing just for United instead of Team Rival, so
either way, that match will take place or will have taken place, depending on the time of this airing, at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, and now we don't have a lot of news on the card game front, so we're going to turn our attention towards sports games that occurred yesterday. Up first, the NBA 2K League continued. In our first match, we saw Grizz Gaming against the Bucks, with Grizz closing out at 61-52, taking their first win of the NBA 2K Pro League. Finally, the Grizzlies are able to get something.
After that, the Celtics took their win against Net SGC at 65-59. Then the Blazers, they burnt out those Knicks with a whooping 86-48 overall. And finally, the Warriors. I love the Bay Area. Shout out. We saw a similar smashing game with 82-43 against Wizards District Gaming.
And to close out this week's series of games, we're getting the 76ers against the Blazers tonight, then Warriors versus Jazz. After that, Bucks are going to take on the Raptors, and from there, 76ers will clash against the Knicks. Finally, our last game of the day is going to see Jazz Gaming against Grizz Gaming. And again, we're going to be bringing you all of those results and what that means for the standings again this coming Monday.
Monday.
We'll save the songs for the actual Monday.
This weekend, we'll see the return of the FIFA esports as well with the FIFA ELeague Cup. It'll be taking place on Saturday and Sunday, and we'll get you the results as they come in. At the same time, we'll be seeing the RLCS return with its week 5 of its play in Europe and North America. Of the 8 teams in the North America, Splice are already eliminated from advancing to the regional championship, and Rogue are hot on their heels in that if they are going to lose one more game, they fall out of contention. No team has yet to unlock the final spot, though a few are very close, and Energy Esports, G2 Esports, and Cloud9 are a clear head and shoulders above the middle of the pack.
Yeah, now in Europe, Vitality, they've already managed to lock in their first place in their group. They're going to advance to the finals, even if they lose tomorrow's games. Though we did mention earlier, the teams are split into a top and bottom in Europe, as opposed to in North America, where it is a top, middle, and bottom. So there is a much more difficult separation between those teams. Aside from that one team locking up for first, though, in Europe, everything else is still up for grabs. So we're going to see a lot of movement with today's game.
Finally, in our sports games this weekend, we'll see the conclusion of the F1 Esports Baku Qualifier. We'll be driving the Mercedes W09 of Lewis Hamilton on the
Azerbaijan
Grand Prix. Thank you for that, Azerbaijan. And have until the end of the weekend to score your best time. But hey, if you falter here, we'll see you at the Catalonia Qualifier from the 5th to the 19th of May before the final race off on the 27th and the 29th of May.
Yeah, and that's all of our sports game coverage, but not all of our esports coverage. We've still got more action going on this weekend. 2 fighting game tournaments. We've got the Super Smash Bros. Tournaments happening alongside Head Stomper 2019 in Sweden. Head Stomper is set to be the premier fighting game tournament in Scandinavia, featuring as a stop on the Tekken World Tour, the Capcom Pro World Tour for Street Fighter V, and the Arc Revo World Tour for both Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue. And while it won't feature Super Smash as aggressively at the Head Stomper, that's because we've got Smash at 2 more tournaments happening this weekend. In the European Team Cup happening in Amsterdam, and in North American shores, we're seeing Thunder Smash 2019, which is set to feature a lot of very popular and famous members of the Smash community. For those of you who can't quite afford a ticket at the drop of a hat to Amsterdam for that European Cup, well, Long Beach has you covered.
They got you covered, and it looks like it's going to be really fun. This Thunder Smash features a $20,000 winner prize pool and $20,000 winner takes all. European Smash Ball Team Cup 2019 final features as a qualifier for the Super Smash World Championship in June, and that will also be in Los Angeles.
Yes, and now to close out our esports coverage, we've got our favorite miscellaneous section. These are the games that really should have their own section, but there isn't anybody else doing anything like that. First up, we've got Starcraft II, the strategy game, with the return of GSL Code S Season 2 Group D this Sunday. We're going to see Deer, Creator, Alive, and Sue all fight for the top 2 in their group. After that, on the morning of Monday, on the 6th, we'll get our Group E, with Rogue, Fantasy, Lenok, and Stats taking to the stage.
The GSL Code S Season 2 is being hosted in Hongik University, widely regarded as the best architecture school in South Korea. Very interesting. Yeah. I like that very much.
Now, our last tournament coverage for the weekend is going to be the WoW Mythic Dungeon International East Cup 3. 8 teams are vying for the top 4 spots for the chance to advance to the local area network finals happening later this year. We'll update that picture as it becomes clearer. We did just get the West Cup results, so with the East Cup all locked out, that should have all of your PvE needs sated until then.
Okay, so that's it for our coverage for today. I'm glad we got that CSL Go Code S in there. We've got a little bit of gaming news to cover, and that's that it has been recently announced that the live-action Sonic the Hedgehog movie is expecting to make a few tweaks, right? It kind of had some similarities to the Detective Pikachu movie, which is being well received.
Yeah, and otherwhere in gaming news, elsewhere, otherwise, we're seeing some news that Apex Legends is also going to be receiving some new playlists to dicker about in the relatively near future. But turning back towards Sonic, as you said, the director Jeff Fowler has responded to the internet's criticism of the humanoid hedgehog on Twitter.
He said on Twitter, "Thank you for your support and your criticism. The message is loud and clear. You aren't happy with the design and you want changes. It's going to happen. Everyone in Paramount and Sega are fully committed to making this character the best he can be." Wow, that was, I think, a really great response.
Yeah.
And to say thank you and appreciate that people really care about this character.
And this is exciting because it shows that Sega and Paramount are willing to have a conversation and are willing to come back and discuss with the community what they want out of a live-action Sonic movie. A lot of people were comparing this to the old 1990s Super Mario Brothers movie, which a lot of people credit it as one of the first video game movies, and it set the bar really low.
Right.
It was very, very bad, and Sonic the Hedgehog looked to maybe barely be able to clear over that bar.
Yeah, people were very disappointed with Sonic the Hedgehog.
I mean, humanoid teeth. Well, what's going on with his teeth?
Something about it being
and he doesn't have gloves.
A blight on. One critic said it was a blight on the gaming community.
Yeah, it's video game movies don't have a good track record of representation in the film industry.
Well, there's a lot of lovers for Sonic the Hedgehog.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The antithesis, though, is we're seeing Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
Already some reviews are starting to drop. The movie comes out next week, and almost all of the reviews are saying it's fantastic. It's actually very, very good. I believe IGN has a review. Kotaku might have one up as well. But they're all saying the reason the movie looks so good is because it is a love letter to the characters of the film. You can see the time and effort put in to animate all of the Pokemon in a way that actually emphasizes rather than detracts from them.
Exactly.
And I think that's where Sonic missed the mark.
Right.
They missed the things that make Sonic Sonic, at least in the trailer.
From what we could see.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't wait to see a Dragon Ball Z live action.
Well,
I think that would be pretty
we
fun.
got one in the thousands.
We do.
And it was real bad. We don't talk about that one. That one was real bad.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. But yeah, we've had a handful of video game movies in the past that we're seeing Paramount and Sega again have this good discussion is very exciting because you have to imagine the amount of money put into this film to get it up to this state. Then they release the trailer and saying it's coming out this year. The internet lashes back and says, we don't want this. We're not going to go watch this because it looks terrible. Then Paramount says, we're going to tweak it. That takes even more money.
Right.
And
they've
animators
already put
and
the production
time
in. It's in the line,
change it,
in the
exactly.
can, ready to go.
So,
and you know what? I meant Digimon. I'm sorry.
Oh, the Digimon,
I
live
did.
action Digimon
and yes,
movie?
I would like to see a live action
Really?
because those characters, I really liked them.
Uh-huh.
I really resonated with the characters, and I want to see them in live action.
Way back in the day.
Yeah. So that would be what I'm excited
that could be
for.
quite fun as well to run counter to the Pokemon movie.
And moving on to Apex
Apex
news.
Legends, yes, we did receive confirmation from a community manager on Reddit. A user basically asked, are we going to be seeing any new game modes or playlists coming to Apex Legends? While the core game is good, I like dropping in as a stack of 3. I like getting the chance to drop in with 2 or 1. What about a 4 stack? What about a competitive mode? What about a team deathmatch mode? And in a very succinct answer, the community manager said, short answer, yes. Can't say any more.
Long answer, we don't know.
Yeah, you can't say any more, but we know
Yes.
Apex are working on some stuff. Again, with all the critical acclaim that it's received and the views that it had been getting on Twitch before it started to decline a little bit, you have to imagine Respawn is taking advantage of that. However, this is where I think the expectation has to change a little bit. Everyone looks at Fortnite and their weekly to bi-weekly patches where
Right,
they put in new
changing all the
guns,
time.
they change
A little
patch
too
notes,
much.
they change
There's
everything.
nothing to predict. You learn
Exactly.
something and then it's lost.
Apex, on the other hand, has said we're just going to do seasonal updates. Every 2-3 months, not weeks.
So that you can prepare and be ready for those, and you know that they're coming, and you
Exactly.
can study up.
So
that is
for
good.
Apex, keep your hopes high for
Yeah.
what's going to happen.
It will
but
be good.
pull the time out a little bit
Because they're gonna put that thought into that.
Yeah,
So,
they're doing the same thing as the Detective Pikachu movie.
Right.
They're doing it out of
Well,
love,
yeah.
not for they are doing it to make money, but they're doing it to make sure that it's right, before just pushing it out.
Before they give it to you, like our MK11, they kind of just
Yes,
push that
well,
out
I mean,
as well.
that's some news in and of itself with the exploit that was found last night. For those of you who were online yesterday and happened to get that news, it was patched out at about 11 p.m. It's not even there anymore. There was a brief window of opportunity where you could load into the crypt, I believe while holding the square button on PlayStation or the Xbox ABX, the X button on Xbox, and be able to open the first chest you came across, regardless of whether or not you had a key.
Wow.
So if you wanted to unlock super, super high level gear and you didn't have that specific character's requirement unlocks completed, you could load into the instance holding that button, just walk up to a chest and crack it open.
Hot off the presses.
And get yourself some pretty spicy loot. However, apparently it seems like it's already been patched out. So NetherRealm, pretty quick on the turnaround.
Yeah, that was good.
But then, how come they're not quick on the turnaround for the drop rates
Yeah.
of items? They've been talking about it for a little bit, but we haven't seen it change yet. But the moment the game is exploited, they're in there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Curious.
We'll just simmer on that a little bit more.
Curious.
Yes. But hey, that's it for today's news.
Oh yeah, you're Dom.
I'm Dom.
This is Dom. I'm Sierra,
Yeah.
and on behalf of myself and everyone at the Esports channel, thank you so much. Be sure to like and subscribe, comment in the doobly-doo, say hi.
And
What's
if you
up?
want to watch us play on Twitch, you can find us on twitch.tv/esports
Yes, watch me play.
channel.
That MK.
But that's it for today's show. Thanks for watching, and have a happy Friday.
GG.